Have you ever found yourself in a dark situation where you didn't have an extra hand for a flashlight and you didn't have a stand light to turn on, but you really needed some light to be able to do some work or even just find your way around? If that's ever been you, then I think I have just the light for you. Hey everyone, this is Papaw, and welcome to All About It with Papaw. Today we're going to take a look at this adjustable LED flashlight and if you should spend any of your money on it. This flashlight that we're looking at was given to me used by a family member who was decluttering. And once I began using it, I knew I needed to tell y'all all about it. It's pretty handy, and while it's not the world's most powerful flashlight, it does a couple of things well and offers some interesting hands-free options. So let's get into it. As you saw in the introduction, it stands up, it pivots. In fact, it'll pivot 180 degrees. So, and it does a pretty good job of maintaining, and if you need to use it like that, it does well. It's got a hook here on the back. Let me turn that off. It's got a hook right here on the back. You can hang it off something, and then it's got a magnet. And I will tell you, seems great, pretty handy, and it's pretty lightweight. So if you need to hold it, it's not real heavy. You can do a lot with it, and it's pretty maneuverable. Stands up nicely. I will tell you this though, the magnet doesn't work real well. So see, it just slid right off there. So I think maybe the magnet's great if you're using the clip here and you're hanging it up and you want it to, like hold it in place. It'll do that. If you see there, see that's kind of even just barely on the edge there, but it does a pretty good job. So, but I would not, as you saw, it just slides right down. I'm having to hold on to it, otherwise it'll just fall right off. But overall, pretty good deal. Now, one thing about this flashlight, if you look at it real close, you can see it. There's no brand markings, nothing. I mean, I even opened the battery case and looked inside, and there's nothing there. There's nothing on the bottom, nothing on the top. But I took a picture of it, did a Google search, image search, and actually did the same thing on Amazon and was able to find some matching ones anywhere from $10 to $14. Now, like I mentioned earlier, there's a battery compartment on this one that holds 3 AA batteries. And I found this at Lowe's under a couple of names, Walmart, Amazon, several different names on Amazon, how Amazon products tend to be. And really, when I did the Google search, it turned up a lot of the big retailers, Home Depot, Target, so many places. And all of the prices were $10 to $14. The only one that I found that was more than $14, and it was actually $21, it was one that came with a small USB cord to recharge an internal battery. So you don't have the battery waste, the AA battery waste, but you do have to recharge it every once in a while. And this one, like I said before, 3 AA batteries, doesn't draw a lot of power, and it is what it is. It's a great handheld flashlight, puts out a lot, if you need to walk around at night or if you need something in a situation, keep by the bed at night, you can set it up, or like, just even on a countertop, a workspace, hanging in your car, looking down in it, things like that. It does a pretty good job. As you can tell, I'm in my garage and you see the car there. So it works pretty well. You know, it does a pretty good job. I'm standing almost at the end of the car. So it's probably about 10 to 12 feet, lights it up pretty well. And you see it there. So it does a nice job of lighting the path if you're having to walk the neighborhood, walk the dog late at night or anything like that. So it does a good job that way. And really, the best feature that I have found about it is that it does a great job of standing up. And if you need to pivot it, you know, it doesn't flop, you know, and it will do this. And it'll allow you to be hands-free while you're messing with something else. And you can hang it over and you can see, you know, look, it shines down pretty far and it lights it up pretty well. Now, it's like I said, it's not as great as some of the pedestal lights are, you know, where they put off 100 watts per bulb or whatever the halogen equivalent is. But ultimately, or the LED equivalent is, I should say. But ultimately, it for what it is, for a $10 flashlight or a $15 flashlight, it does a really good job. I got to tell you, you know, since this was given to me, it's obviously well worth it. But I have a lot of flashlights and acquired them over the years, and some are great, some are not great, some have all these different features to them. But I will tell you, this little flashlight, if I could find this for $10 with all the little different features, I would certainly be into that. You know, I mean, it's one of those things that being hands-free is really nice. And again, it's not the world's brightest flashlight. I have 2 or 3 other flashlights that will outshine it, but it's lightweight, you know, and if I'm not needing to use it for a weapon, you know, like unexpectedly, because some are, you know, some of the more security minded flashlights are that way. You know, they kind of double. They're big metal. This is all plastic, you know, so it's not going to, you know, last forever. But taken care of, you'll get it to last a few years, especially with it being $10 or $12 or $14, whatever, you know, whichever version you go with off Amazon or Lowe's, it will serve you nicely. Here you see I hung it off of my garage door rail there with the hook, and it does a pretty good job. Puts out quite a bit of light here in my garage. And if I need to get around the garage and the power's out, it'll do a great job for me. Now, I would encourage you, do your own buying choices, look at the reviews. Don't hesitate to ask me any questions. I can't recommend a specific one simply because I don't know where this came from. I don't know what this is. It's literally got no markings on it whatsoever. The only markings that I can find inside are which way the batteries are and what size they are. And which is kind of weird. So obviously you know, it's a store brand or something like that that my family member picked up somewhere. But I'm pretty pleased with the performance of it, and I strongly encourage you to take a look at it if you're interested. Don't hesitate to ask me any questions. If you enjoyed the video and like the review, please click the like button. Would love it if you subscribe to the channel. This is Papaw, and this is all about it.